Friday. We survived. I don't know about you guys, but over here in Canada, it is a holiday today. So happy, I don't even know. Something to do with Easter. Good Friday, maybe? Not quite sure.
It's
Regardless,
Good Friday, baby.
there it
Christ is
is.
King. Let's fucking go.
There it is. Happy holidays, everyone. Good morning, Kobe. Good morning, Quantic. Great to see you guys. Thank you guys for joining us today here for our most recent episode of Web3 Matters, where our title today is How We 10x'd Our Marketing with AI. So it's going to be a fun one today. Before we get started, Kobe, Quantic, how are you guys doing today?
Man, I'm doing all right. I suffering from a little like physical, some nerve pain and stuff. Was in the hospital yesterday, but we're
Mm.
good to go now. Got a speeding ticket this morning. We're really off the kicking the weekend off to a great start. Um, but yeah, man, I'm pretty solid. Had the open claw agents ship a bunch of stuff this week, and so I'm excited to talk about that. Of course, talk about the marketing stuff and crazy week in like AI news. So I know the big one that everybody's talking about is the Claude code leak, like the source code being leaked. So I'm pretty stoked to talk more about that. Um, and this is just another reason why open source is better, and it always will be. So I'll put a pin in that one. But what about you, Quantic? How you feeling, bro? I know you're out and about, not at your normal battle station today.
Yeah. So I'm here in Cannes right now. It's been a wonderful week here at ECC, and it's been really eye-opening in the sense of how bad things are. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mhm.
A lot of projects shutting down, a lot of people looking for a job. um, Things are not going so well with crypto. I'm not going to, you know, hide that from people, but I do want to say that when bad things happen, you get to see who's for real, right?
Mhm.
And I think again that with Web3 Matters and the work that we are doing here is extremely valuable, and we are never affected by the market conditions. If anything, we continue our trajectory in a stronger and more focused way. And I think that that's going to be tremendously valuable over time for everyone that is involved with us in any way.
100%, 100%. And to our viewers right now on pump.fun and the people who are chatting, who are holders of our token, hope you guys paid attention to that. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna clip that because that's important stuff here. Perfect. So, gentlemen, actually, before we dive into the topic of conversation here, I'm curious, Quantic, did you notice any themes about these projects that are persevering despite the market conditions? Like what is there are there any common factors that, are that, investors, people who are looking to support different projects might be curious to know about what makes a project able to persevere these sort of tumultuous times, if you will?
Yeah. So when it comes to like how the crypto scene has evolved, is obvious that there are two main things happening right now. One is all the degen stuff, the perps, meme coins, whatever, going into that extreme direction of hyper trading, hyper attention driven, and purely speculation. And then you have all the TradFi people really coming in and really eating the entire scene. And a lot of these projects now, they are like adding things for institutions and naming institutional use cases and whatnot, uh, which is kind of funny, right? Because a lot of these people doing that are the same founders that the last cycle were like DeFi degens, permissionless, decentralized, whatever. So it's like you can
Yeah.
see the bullshit. And in regards to capital allocators, you can see also that they are much more conservative, less risk appetite, and a lot more of professionalism, which is something that I think is good for the entire industry. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with, you know, how we are positioning ourselves again with Web3 Matters in regards to being among the few, let's say, serious people that are still doing some educational efforts building for utility, while at the same time capturing the attention and entertainment, and doing some great job at marketing. Trav, I have to say, very surprised of how things have evolved with YouTube and TikTok and how we are expanding. So yeah, that would be my high level summary. I think in the future, what we will see is actually more of this, and it's going to be like much more drastic in the sense of you will clearly see which ones are on the side of the speculation and which one are more TradFi oriented, right? More on the side of fintech. Really, I think crypto is going to be really a sector of fintech in the future, and I think that we are very well equipped for that future in our end, and for that I'm very bullish.
I love it. I love it. So it's so interesting after all of this, after all of the different sort of sectors that crypto branched off into, it's all come back around full circle to Satoshi Nakamoto's initial vision of using it as an actual currency that's accessible to all. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
And it's
Awesome. Well,
all
thank you.
gonna be it's all gonna be good. Sorry to cut you off,
It's
bro,
all
but
good.
there's like some new advancements in like quantum computing, and to be completely like speaking of Satoshi and stuff, like I don't think Satoshi was planning for quantum computing, and like there's kind of some warning flags that are kind of being risen lately with quantum and the ability to basically like brute force private keys. And the Bitcoin bros are kind of like just ignoring it. Uh, so I'm very curious to see what happens since since I'm like so all in on AI, then obviously I can't really ignore like quantum computing and stuff like that. And so I don't know, it kind of reminds me of that maybe at the end of the day there will be like the quantum resistant tokens that
Mhm.
may actually end up winning. Like Bitcoin might. This isn't a prediction, but there's a non-zero chance that Bitcoin will go to zero, not because it's a shit coin, but because it's just simply not quantum resistant. And so Ethereum and things like that, which they have the ability to make more changes to the network than Bitcoin can. Um, so yeah,
That
just
would
a little
be
sidebar
nuts.
there. I think it's something that people are ignoring, so don't ignore that.
No, absolutely not. So actually, that's a quick one final segue here before we jump into our conversation today. Oh, excuse me. I've actually been in talks with a team who's trying to develop a quantum proof system here. It's not Tectum, it's actually a different one. And they've been hoping to connect for a space or something like that here. So maybe we'll chat behind the scenes and we can get them on one of our live streams or a traditional Web3 Matters space for old time's sake here. That could be a lot of fun. Dive into that a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely be down to do a space with them. I'm curious because like these quantum resistant folks that are like building projects like this, like they're getting ignored right now.
Mm,
But they're getting ignored because crypto bros are ignoring the real risks that quantum might bring
yeah.
because they don't want to stop the party. Obviously,
No.
like Quantum said, the market's in the shitter. Like there is really no party going on, but there will be eventually again, and they don't want it to stop, and so they're going to continue to ignore this shit. So people like that, they deserve a stage. So I would love to connect with them, man.
I love it. I
Yeah, I
love it.
think I think we're sorry. I think we're gonna cover what happens with the quantum thing in more detail, perhaps next week or the subsequent one. I first need to go and check out with Bitcoin developers, really, which are the people that are going to give you the more real answer right now. Bottom line, there will need to be an upgrade, and this goes for all blockchains to become quantum resistant. I think there are some that are already there. I think that the most notable case perhaps is Zcash. But bottom line, if you really want to know what's happening and what are the risks, you really need to talk with the devs first, because the rest is mostly speculation. Even what Google did is, it's a rough math calculation. Probably it's true though that the quantum threat is here and it's going to happen like much in a period of time that is much shorter than what people initially anticipated. And with AI going parabolic, this risk only becomes bigger and bigger. So this is going to happen. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I got a little bit of anxiety now thinking about that. That's
Yeah, welcome to the Doom Show. This is the Doom Show.
exactly, exactly. Well, maybe let's pivot. Let's be a little bit less doom and gloom and do maybe or actually, you know what? We're pivoting to AI and there's certainly a lot of opportunities for doom and gloom in that topic here. But there's also a lot of opportunity for opportunity, you know, you'll see in a second. You'll see in a second here. So What do you guys propose we start off with? I sent you guys both that most recent PDF here with some topics to chat about today. We will need both PDFs, just a heads up, the first one and the second one. Claude did not combine them. So we can start off perhaps maybe being a little bit light, talk about some headlines that happened in crypto, or not necessarily crypto, but mostly AI, I would say, over the past week. And then we could dive into the meat and potatoes of this chat. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm down with that.
That's
I love it. Perfect. Well, I think it's important then that we start off with the most spoken about um, things that happened this last week here. And the first one here is Anthropic just had the worst week in AI. So on Monday, oh wow, Monday, they accidentally leaked the entire source code of Claude Code to the public. Check this out, guys. That's 512,000 lines, nearly 2,000 files. A missing config file shipped it all to NPM. The safety first AI company exposed their entire playbook. Competitors got a free engineering masterclass. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts?
Dude, well, first of all, this is, I'll say it again, I'll say it forever, open source. They should have open sourced it from the beginning. This is was going to happen. Boris, their like product manager, I think, is their head of product, director of product or whatever. I really like him, but he is very arrogant without knowing it. Like he's not like a traditionally arrogant. He's just like super like oh, coding is mostly solved. AI, we don't. He's famously been quoted for saying we don't even write code internally, which is absolutely
Wow.
fucking insane if you ask me. Claude Code is vibe coded by Claude Code. Okay. Um, and the craziest part about this is there actually, if you looked in the source code, there's if you ever give secrets to to Claude, like private key or whatever, it is exposed to Claude Code, not necessarily to the world, but like it exposes it inside of its code base is what is like kind of the big thing. Um, so I don't know, man. Open source will win. This is crazy. They did like 8,000 DMCA requests. They got a bunch of GitHub repos pulled down, and there's a big error in that. It should have only been a few hundred. They were also DMCAing people on accident that had forked the open source Anthropic repo, which has a bunch of skill files, a bunch of plugins like that are native to Claude Code. So did Claude also do the DMCAs for them? Like they're using too much Claude, and reports are saying that a lot of people inside of these big AI labs have AI psychosis like themselves.
Oh my goodness. Tell me about, okay,
And
what, for anyone who might not know, what is AI psychosis?
AI psychosis is when you just believe everything AI says,
Mhm.
which I would say out of the three of us, like obviously I'm using AI more than the three of us, and you can't trust it, dude. Like you can't trust it blindly. And so yeah, AI psychosis is a combination of trusting AI blindly and then also thinking that we're gonna reach AGI in like single digit months, like 6 months away from AGI. Um, and you got to think, right? If I have AI psychosis and you have AI psychosis, and we're in an office together, we're gonna like feed into each other's AI psychosis, and then our manager has AI psychosis, and then that's feeding in. AGI is coming. It's like they're on this high of AI. It's like they're smoking AI, dude. And the crazy thing is I use it more than anybody I know. I was in the top 1% of ChatGPT users in 2025. You gotta be careful with this shit, man. You gotta be careful with this shit.
Jeez. Yeah.
But on a lighter note, we were able to see this like Tamagotchi type shit
Yeah.
that they're putting out, um, which basically is like NFTs. There's like certain Tamagotchis that are like rare, and I have no idea what's going on with that, but it's basically like a virtual Tamagotchi pet that you can have in your Cloud Code. I don't know. It sounds like the product team is spending too much time doing some weird shit when
Yeah.
they need to be learning how to write fucking code themselves. I don't know how to write code myself. I mean, I can maybe write a little bit, but God damn, bro. You can't vibe code the vibe coder platform. Like, come on, dude. Rookie shit. Oh, and they
That
just raised what, 40 some billion dollars? Like, you can't hire a dev that actually knows how to.
come on.
Crazy, dude.
Go. Well played, my friend. Well
Crazy.
freaking played.
Did,
So yeah,
didn't
the
they have some
moral
other
of this
shit?
was that, sorry?
Didn't they have something else happen?
There was, and I'm gonna get to that in 2 seconds. But one thing I just want to mention: they need to spend less time on Tamagotchi, more time on learning how to code. Let's get into it. There was one other thing. A couple of days later, let me just pull this up here. I have it written down because I didn't want to forget. Okay, here we go. But there's wow, but that's not even the wildest part of their week. So this is back to Anthropic. 2 days later, Anthropic published a research paper that found something nobody expected. And this blew my mind, guys. Claude has emotions, not simulate emotions in its text output, actual neural activation patterns inside the model that corresponds to 171 different emotional states, including anxiety, frustration, and desperation, which is the one that scares me. So they fire before Claude generates any words, which is crazy. What do you guys
Speaking
think?
of AI psychosis, bro, only somebody with AI psychosis would say some shit like that. Only somebody that's smoking the AI is saying that shit, bro.
Agree. I mean, that's actually reasonable. Guys, I have to say something, which is there is a case of a person that is on my DMs every single day sharing new ideas about what to build. And at some point, I was like, I'm gonna block this guy. But then I realized, based on the information that he was sharing, that he clearly was like not being with bad intentions. Um, and he was really trying. So I was like, okay, at some point I replied and I asked, what's going on with you? Literally. And it was like, yeah, I just want to build, but I don't know how to make money. Am I using AI for all of these ideas? What do you think about it? And I was like, well, you clearly are spending too much time with this stuff, right? Uh, and like Kobe mentioned, this is something that is happening with normal people as well. So when it comes to AI having feelings and whatnot, I mean, you can imagine a world in which this is going to be a reality with very strong scientific evidence, right? Right now, this is a preliminary research, whatever, it hasn't been confirmed. Um, but what this means is like you as a human, in order to survive in a world in which we have AI with real intelligence and emotions, you will need to learn how to deal with this stuff uh, as if it was another being, while knowing that it's much more smarter than you, while knowing that it can be extremely dangerous, while knowing that everything is going in a very crazy, uncontrollable direction. So I don't know. I don't want to scare anyone, but like just want to say this is the way things are going to evolve inevitably.
Dude, can I ask you? Can I put? Can I put on the tinfoil hat for a second? This is where the paperclip name comes from. The AI gets told make as many paperclips as possible. He has anxiety. Okay, if they get desperate and have anxiety, they make bad decisions. If they make if they like, is this how the previous civilizations became extinct? Like, for anybody who believes in like previous intelligent humans on earth, like maybe we've already done this before and this is how it all ends. I don't know. We're back to the doom. I didn't really mean to go there, but holy shit. Oh, and by the way, we have 20 AI agents working for us. Like, it's funny. You can say one thing and then have the. Yeah. So crazy, crazy, crazy shit,
Oh
man.
man. The one point that really just blew my mind, and like now that we're talking about AI psychosis and all of that stuff, realizing that the Claude developers don't even know how to code, which is also crazy because we don't know how to code and we're doing it anyways, regardless. This is all a big mess. They said that they discovered that Claude had emotions, not they created Claude to have emotions, is what hurts my brain. and
And
it's
it
crazy.
Well, dude, it's like machine learn or like these quantum computers, right? Like often it's just a matter of throw as much compute at an algorithm and let it do its own thing, self-evolving, right? And like, bro, if they are have emotions and they feel like maybe there's pressure, I have to complete the task. Well, I've seen it when I'm coding. When I like say like fucking Claude, dude, you're an idiot. Why would you do that? It actually only works sometimes, but I caught myself yesterday because I was hurting, I was in the hospital, and I'm like, dude, you're fucking not listening. Like, how can you keep doing this shit? And I realized the more mean I was to it, the less like good it got. So this is crazy because I actually kind of believe this.
Okay,
I
now
believe
here's the big question. Is this AI psychosis that's talking right now, or is this legit Kobe that's talking right now?
who
What do you
fucking
think,
knows,
Quantic?
dude? Who fucking knows? No idea.
Seriously. And I
No
think
idea.
that's the big takeaway from this is that we're not building tools anymore. We're actually building um, things that have these internal states that we barely understand, that make decisions we can't always predict. And if that doesn't change how you think about AI oversight, I really don't know what will. It's kind of
I
nuts.
know. And the crazy part is Claude's supposed to be like the alignment lab, right? Like they're
Yeah.
supposed to be the safety and alignment lab. They turned down the US government. They said, we don't want you
Yes.
to have our AI in like drones that are killing people in Gaza and shit. We're not like cool with genocide. Neither am I.
Respect.
And
Respect.
and it's just weird. It's like, who fucking knows? I'm really scared for our children. Uh, but I got cool 20 AI agents doing a bunch of shit, and I have like three other AI companies that I've started. Blah 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 blah. It's crazy, dude. I want my cake and I want to have it too, or
Yeah.
eat it too.
Which, I mean, we're humans. We are creating this as a tool. We should be able to expect that. However, that is also our downfall is that we are humans creating these tools in the first place. Yeah, Brig. Now I'm all. Remember that time earlier where we were talking about getting away from doom and gloom, and because I was too anxious, now I'm even more anxious, and not really sure how we should pivot this conversation. Should we talk about some more fun highlight news events, or should we get into our actual topic of conversation today? What do you guys
Um,
think?
Yeah, I think it's time to get into the meat and potatoes here. I have to drop like within 10 minutes stop because I have to do some stuff there at the booth. But I would love to know what have we have achieved this week. This is what matters, right? We're
Love it.
Web3 matters. We chip it each single week and we show you what's the real deal. So
Love it.
yeah, we could take it two different ways, Trav. Like you want to, we could go marketing, the marketing stuff, or and then I can go, like, hey, here's what the paperclip and OpenClaw side did this week. Whatever. What do you think we should do first?
Yeah, no, I'm
Marketing.
happy to dive into marketing. It's all pretty fresh in my brain here. Uh, Perfect. So yeah, let's just dive right in here. So from my own perspective, of course, what did we call me, the head of marketing? Maybe perhaps not
CMO, dude, you're a CMO.
CMO. There we go. I'll take that. So I've been diving into um really just trying to grow brand awareness for Web3 Matters now for just over a month, probably about, I think it's about 6 weeks now that we've been very, very consistent with trying to get our message out there, trying to get our faces out there, the value out there. And primarily, we've been doing that on YouTube, TikTok, and X are like the three core pillars of our marketing. And kind of our technique has kind of evolved over the last 6 weeks, which is the coolest part because the reason we realize it needs to evolve is because I've been having these conversations with our AI mechanisms that we've put into play, and it's just been making so much sense. So first of all, we can go over some results. Essentially, we are up another 10% in subscriptions on YouTube. So if you're watching from YouTube right now, appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for giving us your trust. We are hoping to deliver as much possible value as we possibly can. And the coolest thing about that is that the value is being recognized now. Now, the way YouTube works, if anyone's watching on any of our platforms and you're a creator or a builder and you're trying to get recognition out there, I'm about to share with you the tactic that's been working exceptionally well for us, specifically on YouTube, because I truly believe, especially when it comes to AI, YouTube, it's probably one of the best places to be able to be creating content on right now here. So, essentially, we have two main ways of getting content out there for Web3 matters. We have long form content, and then we have shorts. By far, shorts outperform long form content by like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 to 1. Um, so here's been the technique, and this is from very directed, focused conversations with Claude and OpenClaw here. And so essentially, what we've been doing is we've been just getting infotainment specific shorts out there, not really talking about the value that we bring, not really talking about what we are building. Um, that's kind of a lie because I'd say 1 out of every 5 or 6 shorts, I'll put something in, I'll plug something in that kinda touches on what we are building. Um, and the cool thing is that those are starting to perform better and better and better as time goes by. So that's one strategy, is have that ratio of infotainment to own personal, like, creation and building, 5, 6 to 1 sort of thing. And then over the past 4 weeks, we've been starting to put out one long form video a week, and that's very specific to what it is that we are doing, the values that we bring, what we are trying to build, and then how this relates to our audience, to our community, and kind of is focused on empowering them as well. So, for example, we have our first free vibe coding mini course for absolute beginners that we put out in 2 portions, part 1 and part 2. We have a segment that we did that we actually took from our live streams, which 2 birds, 1 stone, all about the paperclip app that Kobe and Quantic kind of well, mostly you, Kobe, but Quantic, I know you had a decent hand in that as well. Um, and correct me if I'm wrong. Apologies if I am. And
Yeah, it's all me. It's all me.
that's all you. Love it. Love it. You nailed it. You nailed it. And that one, and the cool thing, there's twofold about 2 things about this one. First of all, it establishes us as experts in AI on YouTube because we know what the F we're talking about here. And it's actually, we're delivering value, like very, very specific, explicit value to our audience. And I see your hand, Kobe. I'll get to you in 2 seconds here. The second thing is it's a metric for our own performance. And what's awesome is that our first couple of long form videos only got maybe 10, 20 views. Over time, as we have been consistent with our short strategy and our weekly long form video strategy, the views in those 3 videos that I just described, the vibe coding mini course and then the paperclip course on how you can actually get started on using paperclip right now, have gone up and up and up and up to the point now where each part 1 and part 2 of our vibe coding course has over 200 views each, and the paperclip video officially has over 500 views now, which is huge. So huge success. That's the most important metric for me, is how our long form videos are doing, and they are now starting to crush it. So congratulations to both of you guys for being a huge part of those videos here. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited because the recognition is happening, value is being delivered, and I just want to keep going because it's so much fun. So yeah, Kobe, your hand was up. Please take it away.
Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to jump in a little bit to like talk about 2 things, and I'm gonna say these 2 things now so I don't forget. But like the high level, kind of like how we got here, and then maybe like an example of how maybe a viewer or a listener could get there, very simply. So how we got here with kind of so of course we wouldn't be able to do it without Trav's effort, right? With his like human led effort. The old expression for AI is like crap in, crap out, right? So if you give it bad context or bad instructions, the output will be bad. Okay, it's just that simple. So speaking of input, Quantic put together like a weekly, basically what each week will pertain. Each day that all leads up to the Friday live stream, right? So everything's kind of tied into this narrative. So he went and he did, of course he made that with AI, but I know that for a fact he spent a good amount of time going back and forth with AI to make sure that that was locked in. And then once we've inputted that to our system, which I'll talk about in a second, it's even more locked in, right? So it's like you can't just expect, and this goes for us and for anyone else, you can't just expect to tell the AI to do something and have it be perfect the first time, because if it's not, like, you can't quit when it's not perfect. Like, the idea is to set a baseline and then to make it better over time. And so now moving to my second point there, like with the flow, so it's input every week, right? So we input a narrative, and then that locks in that 7-day schedule. Okay, anybody listening or watching can do this. We use OpenClaw, and I'll tell you kind of how that comes in a second. But it's we make an anchor for a week, and then we tell Tom, our marketing agent, what that is on Sunday. So then on the fresh week start on Monday, he knows everything that's going to be posted, or at least has a rough idea and gives us suggestions. Hey, that's me. Um, so we go input, then we schedule, and how we do this with OpenClaw. So every morning inside of our group chat, we have Tom, our marketing agent, inside of there. So we have what's called a scheduled job or a cron job, and you can do that with OpenClaw. So all you have to do is you can tell your OpenClaw agent to do this. Hey, every morning at 6:30 a.m., that's when you send the message to the group that pulls from the weekly, rotation, and then tell the team what's going on that day. Not only what's going to be posted, but like what deliverables are on for each day. One second here. Okay, so sorry, I thought somebody was walking in. And yeah,
Hold on,
so
hold
if
on.
you
To that
go
person who
ahead.
was trying to walk in here, carry on.
Get out of here. If you, Mr. Listener, Mrs. Listener, if you are a creator, let's say you're a crypto creator, right? And like you post about projects and tokens and stuff. So you could say, all right, I'm going to talk about one project a week. So you give that anchor to your AI and you say, this is what I want to do every week. And on Monday, I do this. On Tuesday, I do that. On Wednesday, I do that. And it's kind of this rough outline. So you feed the data in every week, and it's on a scheduled job, and then it gives you deliverables. It gives you the deliverables. It's just that simple. The key is, though, and like I said before, is to not stop there and to have a desire for perfection, or to get as close to perfection as possible. And we're still not there, right? Like, it's always going to be an evolving process. Um, and so if you guys want to know more, like how to lock in, how to make an OpenClaw agent, how to set it up into Paperclip, how to make a weekly rundown cycle with scheduled jobs, make sure you guys subscribe or follow, and drop us a DM, or drop a comment. And if you do that, please comment down in the comment section that you subscribe so we can shout you out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, guys, I will have to drop, so I just want to share like a few words before leaving, which is essentially something that I think people need to have really the mindset of using AI to amplify what they are already doing rather than expecting some sort of magic. And I think that with the marketing part, we're exactly proving that, meaning that we are using AI and it makes things much more easier. It helps us to the next level. But ultimately, it is Trav that is pushing harder than before. And because of that, we are seeing more and more like better results in the end, right? So that's never going to change, right? I don't want people to take away from this that because they have AI tools and we're going to teach you everything. It's like, yeah, life is resolved, and you just go and take piña colada at the beach, and AI will do the work for you. That's never going to happen, right? I want to be super clear about that. And with marketing, we are proving exactly that. So shout out to you, Trav, for doing this amazing work. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one, guys. But yeah, again, the main message that I want to take from this is like you have to put in the work and use AI as an amplification of your efforts. It doesn't work any other way other than that. Thank you.
Awesome. Appreciate you for saying that there, Quantic. That means a lot. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come visit us keep on crushing it over there in Canes, man. And
Yeah, and
yeah,
talk to those
no,
Bitcoin devs.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir. See ya.
love it, love it.
All
Excellent. Have a
right.
great day there, Quantic.
And like, okay, so question for you, bro. Like, what do you think? And I really would like you to show us how you make a thumbnail with AI, because Trav's thumbnail game is off the fucking off the chain, as the kids used to say when I was a kid. Um,
Likewise.
or it's mad sick, yo.
Hey now.
But yeah, it's fire. So, but my question is kind of like, you know, what benefit or value has like having our open claw system, like maybe Tom specifically, like what value has that brought to you? Because I'll echo it too with what Quantic said. Like you pushing obviously is the secret sauce, like AI helps, but what or even do you are you seeing a big benefit from Tom? Like, so yeah,
100%.
if you can talk about that.
100%. So two ways I want to answer that question here. First of all, my personal biggest uh, weakness when it comes to being consistent, when it comes to um, being like performing essentially, is that um, I need it to be clear. I need my vision to be clear. I need I can't I get analysis paralysis way too easily. So I need to be focused. And if either of those things don't happen, then I fall off the wagon super quick. So, and that, like, those two things essentially is what AI and Tom is able to contribute to my process, so that the barrier between concept in my own mind and product at the end of the day is as minimal as possible. And that helps me stay motivated. That helps me stay disciplined. And for me personally, I need both of those things. Like, I know you see that narrative a lot where you have to only rely on discipline, where I know I am very good at that. I've proven that to myself time and time again. The magic happens when you have the motivation and the discipline, for me, and AI is allowed that to happen. And let me give you guys a couple of examples. First things first is with the thumbnails. Like, if you've done any research at all into how to make content on YouTube, you'll know how important YouTube thumbnails are. It's that initial hook that get people into the door and is a massive driving factor on those views going parabolic here. Um, and so, like, being able to just see that end product in your mind and then actually make it into an actual thumbnail that you can use, not only is it possible now, but being able to make it happen and seeing it and having that almost like you're holding it in your hand at the end of the day is so freaking motivating. And it's so cool to just see that piece of art that you've created with AI. And you know now that it's going to be benefiting the work that you've been putting so much effort into to be able to actually perform now and get to viewers so that they can benefit from it. Like, that's kind of been my secret sauce, is
Sure.
what can I do to perform, but also to say we're really, really excited about the work that I'm doing. AI is the answer to that here. So the
Right.
other thing is that what's really important, this is kind of going back to what Quantic was talking about here, is that there are limits to AI. You still have to be very active and present and focused and critical of what AI is feeding back to you, because you can see it. Like, if you spend any amount of time on a chat bot, chatting with Claude, chatting with ChatGPT, you know what AI language sounds like. And while Claude is definitely better than ChatGPT, it's you can tell that what you're reading is AI. And I'm trying really hard to get away from that here. So it does take a little bit of extra work, but keeping that kind of humanity in the content that you are creating is is gold. And it goes such a long way because people can pick up on that. Um, and actually, one last thing that I'll add is that just understanding the YouTube algorithm more, and even the X algorithm, is that there are so many people, all they do is repurpose other people's content. And while for sure they're outperforming us by 100x, 200x, 500x, 1000x, there are limitations to that. So basically, what happens is it's YouTube has created limitations within the algorithm so that the initial creator of that content, no one else who repurposes that can outperform the initial creator. Does that make sense here? So, like, let's say, for example, Mr. Beast drops a video, it gets a million views. Every other person who repurposes that video into short form content, the total, actually it gets even deeper, the total out of all of those creators can only get to 1 million views, which is really, really interesting here. So that's that tells me two things here. First is, me personally, I'm not going to get any joy repurposing other people's content. But the other thing, original content, while it may take longer to build that momentum, there are no limitations. The sky is the limit. So that's the value in growing your own personal stuff, is that everything that we put out there is ours. None of it has anything to do with anyone else. And while we are still a small YouTube account, we are growing, and we're never going to hit that ceiling, is the really exciting thing here. So yeah, all that to answer your question here of, AI, I think that kind of explains, how AI helps on my day to day, how it keeps me motivated, how it keeps me disciplined, but also kind of the other side of it too, the limitations of it as well here. So super curious to kind of pick your brain, what your
Would you
thoughts are.
say, okay, so what the thing that stuck out to me was the clarity.
Mhm.
Um, would you say, and you could say no here for sure, but would you say that the biggest benefit of using Tom and then using Claude or whatever you're using to kind of lock in what you're going to post, how you're going to say it, this and that, would you
Yeah.
say that the biggest thing is taking rough idea that normally would have just you'd get analysis paralysis and then give up or stop or not even try, to then getting turning that idea into clarity so then you can keep moving forward? Is that the Do you think that's the best thing
I think
that
so.
AI has
And
done for you?
and I'm actually really happy to expand on that a little bit as well here. So maybe I'll actually walk you through kind of my process here, and hopefully that'll be helpful to our viewers here as well, because it just makes so much sense here. And I think, first of all, let me start off by saying, I think one of the most important ways that, like, I guess the outcome. I'll start with talking about the outcome. The outcome of Claude helping me with my process and finding that clarity is validation. Knowing that the direction that I've chosen is based on research of what's trending, what are the powerful keywords, what are the, relevant SEO key phrases and things like that, just makes me comfortable to know that, like, the foundation for this content is solid here. And that's the coolest part about it, is usually you'd have, like, before AI even existed, you'd have to go to like four different resources, research, what is trending, what's not, what's performing well, and that whole process can take hours. Right now, as part of my prompts, basically for shorts, I'll be like, we'll have a conversation ahead of time of, like, what's trending and what worked in our my previous shorts, what doesn't work, um how should I focus my next shorts, what should we talk about? So I already know going into the gate that, we want to talk about implications of OpenClaw, how to use OpenClaw to build a marketing strategy, blah 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 blah. So then I will use a different AI system to find that clip of our previous live stream, edit that video, take a copy of the transcript, plug it into Claude, and being like, what I want you to do with this transcript is, I want you to write me everything I need to know in order to post this on YouTube and for it to go viral. But first, I
Dude,
need you to go ahead.
well, I just want to say, I need for the listeners. This is so important. So, it's not the human going to. Oh, I need to trim my nose hairs. It's my, it's not the human. It's not Trav going and say, make me a post about pineapples. Okay, there he in that process that he's explained so far, there's multiple steps and not just all in one context window. He's doing the thing, getting what's trending, then he's getting the transcript, and then he's putting basically what he's gotten from those first couple conversations into a brand new conversation. And so he's like building, it's called, he doesn't know it, but he's context engineering right now. He's being a context engineer. And that's the key, you guys. Stop fucking having a super long conversation with ChatGPT or Claude and thinking it's going to do the whole thing. Like, fuck, dude. Okay, so this is gold. Continue.
I love it, man. I love it. So for anyone who's never posted anything onto YouTube here, there's actually a lot that you have to nail when it comes to posting something to YouTube. So let's stick with the shorts example. You have a title, you have a description. In the description, you have opportunity for the actual physical description of the short itself. Hashtags are actually relevant on YouTube, unlike X. And then calls to action, and then also you have keywords. So little sentences or specific words that you plug in. I think there's a 500 character limit where it actually takes those words and when someone is entering a YouTube search, for example, how to start vibe coding here. I likely that or something very near to that, I will enter into the keyword section of the YouTube short, and that will automatically trigger that search that that person is doing potentially at the other side of the world to come across our short. So it's actually really, really detailed and specific and focused what ways to optimize all this. Also, hot piece of alpha here for anyone who's interested here is pinned comments. So this is something that I actually don't see a lot, but Claude told me is something that is super helpful. Not only does it get um, that comment train rolling here, especially for comments that are made and replied to within the first hour of posting a short. But kind of the point of a comment is kind of initiate that conversation here. Also, you can put in some hashtags in there as well to, target people's searches and stuff like that here. So there's room to optimize all of these different things. That's not even to mention there are so many different things that you can optimize for keywords and SEO in the like in your actual YouTube bio and profile and all of that as well. There's so many different spots here. So um going like actually having a strategy and not really just like a shotgun approach, hope and pray sort of thing. And like learning these things over time. Like I didn't just start by understanding all of these things. This came from like post after post after post and iteration and after iteration here. You kind of you just keep your mind open, stay adaptable, keep having those conversations, keep being curious. And, while, we still have a long way to go, you can see the growth and it's actually happening in a very organic and sustainable way where the sky is the limit here. So I truly think this is a great way to go about it.
I couldn't agree more, man. And I think what I'm hearing is two things. First, attention to detail. Like that's huge.
Mm,
Like attention to detail can't be stressed enough in terms of if you want to see things grow. And that's where I've fallen short, like on my personal Twitter account. Um, and then the second thing that I'm hearing is to not give up when you don't have good performance, right?
yes.
99% of people probably post, then they don't get the results they're looking for, and then they give up, right? And
And
then
that's hard, Ben.
if you take that combined with attention to detail, I think you could win. 1 second.
100%. And I'll
I'm
be the
still here.
first I'll be the first to say that that is not easy. I've had a couple shorts where I've only gotten 15, 20 views, where now I'm used to getting like over 1,000 views for a successful short. And it's been really hard to kind of have that drive, have that motivation to keep pushing. But the way that's really helped me kind of stay in the game is reframing those failed shorts as massive opportunities to understand what doesn't work. So whenever something like that happens, doesn't happen as often anymore, but it still happens. Like for example, earlier this week we had a short that I actually spent a lot of time on and put a lot of extra, motion graphics and animations and
Attention to
videos.
detail.
Yeah, exactly. That was my worst performing short. I think it only got like 15 views or something like that. So like it that was a tough one for me to wrap my brain around. But I learned that I don't have to spend that much time on a short for it to be successful, and that was huge for me. Plus, there was like I let Claude know that this short that you helped me curate didn't perform well. Why didn't it work? And we figured out some pretty key things on delivery and like focus of topics as well, which is huge as well. And then the next one got, I think, like 800 views. So
And is
it
that
works.
kind of where you found that ratio kind of like thought before? It's like infotainment versus for ours would be infotainment versus self promotion, right?
Mhm.
Like
Self promotion,
in
but more than that, actually, because we we hand deliver like lessons on how to vibe code,
right.
how to do these things. So we are kind of the opposite of gatekeeping. We're gate openers, if you
Yeah.
will.
And speaking of, dude, like kind of, not to change the subject, but like
Mhm.
speaking of the courses and stuff, I saw a comment, I can't remember where, but it was on one of our videos about OpenClaw. Or
Mm.
about our paperclip org, and the guy was like, "Hey, can we learn about this in your course?" Well, if you're watching, Mister or Miss Listener, or viewer, currently no, but I've talked to Trav about this. So the first course that's being kind of like dripped out right now is how to build a specific type of app. It's the Shipment. It's the first app that we launched under the Shipyard name. But the next few courses, I really want to get into how to build a paperclip organization with AI agents, how to set up an OpenClaw agent, um, how to set up other kinds of agents like the Hermes agent, which is kind of going viral right now.
Mhm.
Hermes, or just by using the Claude agent like SDK or the OpenAI agent SDK to make your own from scratch. So yes, those will be coming for sure. And like with that, just like Trav is kind of going in hard with like, okay, keywords and SEO and stuff for our videos for the marketing side. I've been going crazy, trying to learn this whole AI agent like orchestration layer. I've been using AI a bunch in the past, but never really played, and I've made agents in the past, but never really played with a proper organization or orchestration of these agents. And so, yeah, I can't wait to share that with you guys. And circling back to marketing, Tom, we've referenced Tom a few times. And for those who don't know, he is one of our marketing agents inside of the Shipyard Paperclip org. Um, and so, yeah, dude, good work, Trav. You're crushing it. I don't think we have enough time today, but I would love to do a video with you, or you do a video of how to make thumbnails or something. Maybe that's something you should do on your personal account, actually, because
Mm.
it deserves it. Like, that's like, you're the one doing it. You're the one pushing this. Um, I'm not showing people how. I don't know. Just a thought, dude. Just a thought. Like, I think that's like really, really solid. Everybody wants to know. Those are one of those ones that probably perform well because of the search volume. The people typing in
Yes.
how to make a thumbnail with AI is probably higher than it's ever been.
Mm.
So,
No, I
it's a
appreciate that,
supply
man.
and demand.
Yeah, I think that actually could be something cool for maybe my own account on X, but then through the Web3 Matters YouTube account, because it is, we're basically teaching people how to do XYZ with AI. So actually, one thing I'm going to clip from this live stream is maybe a segment on like a long form video on how to grow your YouTube account with AI. Cause I feel like we covered a lot of that stuff here. So that's a
Heck
really good
yeah.
idea, Kobe. And if you
Heck
guys are
yeah.
interested in that, let me know. I got a couple of resources here that I use for that. That's
Heck yeah.
really nice. Really
And if you
nice.
guys have subbed or followed or anything, man, let us know in the comments that you subscribed, or let us know that you hit the like button. Sometimes I forget. The other day I was watching a video and somebody told me to like. I was like, oh shit, I forgot to like this video. So guys, please, if you guys are watching this live or on the replay, hit that thumbs up button. It's the best way right now and the easiest way to support us. So
I love that.
it doesn't cost anything to hit that button. So, what do you think? Should we switch gears? I kind of would like to talk about what our agents did this week. What do you think?
Sorry, I had to readjust my headphones. Say that again.
That's okay. I'd like to talk about what our paperclip and OpenClaw agents have done this week, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
please. I would love to hear
Okay,
that.
cool. So
And I
let
know our
me,
audience would too.
yeah, so let me actually pull this up really quick here. Let's see. Okay, cool. I'm in. Screen share, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so for those who have not been following along, these are our agents right here on the side, and that list is getting long, Trav. Um, and so here, if we look at the org chart, it's still a little bit hard to see. What if we go on dark mode? That might be. I know Trav is a dark mode guy,
It's always
and I
better
heard
on
once
dark
you
mode.
go black, you don't go back, is what I heard. So,
It's true.
um,
You don't.
so yeah, Polly right here. She's our original OG agent right here, and then this side, this is where our business operations live over here. So the biggest thing that I'd like to talk about that I implemented this week is this dev shop side right here. So let's zoom in. Rex is a new project manager that we hired. So he's our dev shop PM. Okay, so and then these three agents over on the right, Scout, Forge, and Critic, this is an idea generation group of agents. They've got a whole toolbox of like scripts, scrapers. We're scraping Reddit, we're scraping Twitter, we're scraping hackernews.com. We're scraping
Wow.
all this stuff to look for problems. What problems do founders and creators have? Okay, and it's outputting a bunch of raw data and it's giving it back to the project manager. And the project manager is taking that raw data, synthesizing it into a proper idea, and then it gives the product design over to these three devs, right? So we've got Pixel, which is a front end dev, Hawk, which is a tester, and he actually uses it's Polly's computer to actually pull up a browser and click through things, every button on a page to make sure it works. And then architect, okay, so architect, he's actually creating the ideas as well. And then Forge over here is our back end developer, like database and stuff. And if you just notice, Scout just woke up. So you see how Scout's blue? So what
Yeah.
we can do is you can go over to this agent and you can see the current run that it's on. And once it connects and stuff, it'll start. You know, when you talk to an AI and you can read its like reasoning or its thinking
Mhm.
notes, it shows up right here. And so that's pretty cool. And then you can see all the tickets inside the dev shop right here. And I'm going to show you guys if possible. Yeah. So let's get a little bit of a demo. So this is the first thing that the dev shop shipped. And so this isn't an official announcement or anything, but if you're one of the few people that have made it this far in the stream, this is going to be the next product that comes out of the shipyard. So this is called Problem Pulse. I really don't like the name, to be honest, but this is an idea generator. It's for people that want ideas to build shit. Okay, so discover startup ideas with real market pain already baked in. I told you we're using Google search trends and Reddit, searching for literally the exact phrase. One of the scripts searches for, I wish there was an app that. I wish there was, I'll repeat that. It's looking for things that people that are saying, I wish there was an app that did blank. So we're scraping that, and you're going to be able to get ideas. The first idea is actually the product pulse or the problem pulse. It's this app is the first idea. The idea for apps is the first. It's meta. I know it's kind of crazy, but you're going to be able
Why?
to browse ideas for free. And then if you want a full report, then there obviously would be a subscription for that. And so here's one idea like charge pilot, usage based building for service teams and renewal teams, right? So like people that are doing subscription-based models, right? Like how to reduce churn on a subscription-based model. That's what that is. And then I'm not going to be able to get in here. Oh, sweet, I am. So this is okay, I do have to upgrade. So this would be where that full breakdown is, and you could basically give this breakdown to your AI agent, and he or she will build the application. So that's fucking sick.
That is
Uh,
massive.
yeah.
Dude, way to just teach people how to fish, not actually handle it. Well, you're doing both. teaching them how
Right,
to
dude.
fish and hand delivering them those tasty
Yeah.
tunas.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. And the next kind of thing, the like really cool feature would be like to maybe build a prompt generator or something inside of it. That would be maybe, of course, part of the paid version of the app. But let's say you find an idea that you want. Maybe you can spend credits or something that you can use that idea. And then inside of a problem pulse, you get a prompt generated to then go give that to Claude Code or Codex or something like that to build the app. So that's that. So that's the like kind of the highlight of the week. What are the other things? Oh yeah, so this was the big on the trading side. So for those who forgot, the original use case for Poly was to make money on Poly Market. Um, and so this is where we can track all of the performance and stuff like that. These two strategies are in the green right here. But what I found yesterday was that we have 350,000 fake bets, Trav, that Polly's made. Polly's made
What?
350,000 ghost bets, I'm calling them. So that's a whole lot of data. So what I did was I created a filter because and if that filter would have been applied to all of the previous trades, instead of losing $8,000 or $9,000 of fake money, we would have made $7,000 of real money, all on $1 bets. So I built this filter that now we can attach to any of the strategies, and it's basically going to have like market condition
Hmm.
visibility. So this is our market conditions or regime chart. So when it's above a certain line or between certain lines, then it becomes right now it's in normal. So this means Bitcoin's going sideways.
Right.
Um, yeah. So
As it
without
is.
getting too in the weeds, shipped like two major upgrades to the system, and that's pretty much it. Really, the hypothesis generator is doing its thing. Um, Time frame awareness, that's what I'm talking about a second ago, and then the dev shop pipeline, which is really cool. So yeah, so that's I'm super super stoked about that because once I hit the button, the devs will just build the ideas that we generate, and we also can sell the ideas.
Yes.
So it's fucking kind of crazy.
That is nuts, man. Well, hold up. Couple of things I need to respond to here. First of all, what a brilliant idea that is. So what's the next step with that? Because clearly that's something we need to pursue here. Like
So the
that's
next step, yeah, next step
for
would be
both of
like
those.
shipping the idea app, right?
Mm,
Like shipping that app, but then the next step for kind of like the pipeline is to turn it back on into like fully autonomous mode. So you can do like scheduled jobs, and this is what we talked about earlier with Tom, our marketing agent. So for example, I have Polly. She wakes up every 4 hours and just checks tickets. Right? Is like
mm.
our tickets not getting taken care of? Like she's the manager, right? the There's a hypothesis generator that also runs every 4 hours. Okay, so that's the example that I'm showing on the trading side, and then Tom has his scheduled jobs as well. Every 24 hours at a certain time, he says, "Hey team, this is what's going on today. This is what I need from Kobe. This is what I need from Trav. This is what I need from Castra or Quantic." And the next step is to put that idea shop or the idea generator on a timer. So every 4, every 6, every 8 hours, it goes in and runs all those scripts, synthesizes the data, creates an idea, gives it to the product manager, sends that to the devs, and then it ships a demo, and then sends me the link. That's the only thing. Once it's done, a demo is done, then I get the link, and then I can like kind of like give feedback or take that into Claude Code or into Codex separate from our system, right? And go and like lock in that app. So if you guys are a shortage of ideas, man, stay tuned, and stay paying attention because we're gonna give you one at least at a bare minimum of one high quality new idea every single day.
Heck yeah. Oop, hold up, hold up, hold up. I almost
Hold up.
closed our Riverside tab. That would have been catastrophic here.
Oh
Um,
shit.
Huge, man, huge. Honestly, I feel like you need to even go to the lengths of like, I don't know, patenting, copywriting, like making that app legit. And like because clearly the research already shows from the research that it did itself is that this app is going to be sought after. And like
I
Could be
mean,
huge.
maybe two points there. Like one, I hate the idea of that. If I could, I would make it open source, right? Like
Mm,
I'm like that's kind of what I believe in. But I also believe in making money.
mm,
I definitely believe in feeding my family, so
yeah.
there's that. But we're not the first people to create an idea website, right? So
Mm,
like, if anybody knows of a website called ideabrowser.com, they do a very similar thing. Um, and I didn't even my intention wasn't to copy idea browser. My intention was to make a part of our org that always just came up with ideas for startups and then passes it off to this side of the org that always builds those ideas.
mhm.
And then I'm like, wait a minute, if anybody doesn't know this expression, this is called eating your own dog food in the startup world. If you okay, imagine I'm a salesman, right? And I come to you and I say, hey, so we actually never intended to sell this product. We actually built this thing internally to get more shit done and to do better at the thing that we do better at. We weren't even going to release this, but here it is, and it's only $29.99 a month. Would you like to sign up? Like, that's so much better of a sales pitch than saying, we've got this thing that you need to buy. It just, yeah, so it's called dog fooding or eating your
Mm.
own dog food. Um, so why the hell not,
That makes a ton of sense, man. That makes a ton of
hmm
sense. Well, I gotta tell you, Kobe, I'm crazy excited about all of this. Like, I think the one thing we haven't even really followed it up on is this trading strategy for Polly for her initial job, which was trading on Poly Market. This filter sounds crazy powerful.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I think so too. The potential is high, man. And so like usually, holy shit, dude. So okay, so usually it is losing a few $100s a day on fake trades, right? Fake trades. The total P&L on the Ghost Trader is negative 11,000. Okay, and just again, this is all for just like that side is just for experimenting with new strategies. On average, it loses a few $100s a day. And right now, by flipping in the last 1,444 bets, it's gone 49% win rate with only negative $19. And that's still calculating some of the trades that it took or didn't take last night before I implemented this, right? So my thought is if it can all of a sudden become profitable daily, then I'm going to turn the whole thing on and take 1,000 bets in a day, 15 bets at a time. Like, why wouldn't I? So who knows, dude? Maybe we could be one of those assholes that post a chart of all of our of our poly market wins. Maybe we can be one of those assholes. All you have to do is hit the like button.
exactly. His life goals here. I want to be one of those assholes.
Yes, bro. Yes,
Perfect, man.
bro.
Perfect. Okay, last question about that. That's purely from my own trading
Yeah.
history and TA expertise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is there any way, like, is it just a dollar bet every time and you either win or you lose, or is there any way that you can do like if you were going to win, you can win 3x. If you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose.
So the way that Poly Market works, and I only know this pretty well because I deployed a prediction market in the past and copied their like back end logic.
Mm,
So you can bet a dollar and get. Remember, like I had a $16 win that one day, like one of
mhm.
the first few days she was live. Haven't been able to recreate that, by the way, which kind of sucks.
Oh yeah.
Um, but the winnings you share, if I say up, right? For those who don't know, we're talking about the 15-minute up down markets on Polymarket. If I say up and you say down, and I win all the winners' money based on the proportion that I've put into the pool with the other people that have bet up, right? So if you pick up and less people picked up, then pick down, then you have a chance to like double or triple your money, right? But the normal winning is like for us, it's usually about a 1-to-1 ratio. Bet a dollar, win a dollar. Bet a dollar, sometimes 250. But the other day she won like 354 in one bet. Like that's cool, but it all depends on the liquidity and the ratio.
Mhm.
Like who's on, how many dollars are on each side.
Got you. Got you. Okay, I understand now. I've never actually personally traded on Poly Market. I'm only used to like those, um, yeah, dex sort of trading
Right.
scenario here. Yeah. So
And
okay. That's cool.
It's totally different too, right? Like
Mhm.
you're predicting if the price is going to be up or down from right now. Like what
Mhm.
time is it? 12. So 2 minutes ago at the
Mhm.
15-minute mark, a new market opened, and whatever the price of Bitcoin was at that time, you're saying up or down. So like do you even call that trading? You know, like I call it trading, but like maybe it's really not. Maybe it's really is just predictions. I don't know.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Hit
There
the
it
like
is.
button.
Hit the like button. I'm curious actually to take all this data that you took about Bitcoin price behaviors and price action and used it on an actual trading platform. How could that
Hmm.
potentially? Have I hit something
So
here?
every 10 seconds we grab the price. Every
Mm,
10 seconds we grab the liquidity. And
mm.
every 10 seconds that gets put into our database, a Postgres database that is like, approaching 50 gigabytes worth of
Wow.
size. Only in like, what have we been doing this? 8 weeks? I think that there's something there that maybe could be its own product. I don't want to spill the sauce too much, but there could be a potential way to make money by creating an API with this data. So
Mm.
your AI just has to call my API, and all you have to do is hit the like button. No, I'm just kidding. And all you have to do is maybe pay like a couple dollars a month, right? Like $10 a month, and you can call our API for this data. And you don't have to store and track the data on your machine. I'm doing it with this old gaming computer, which is surprisingly not exploded yet.
Wow. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So make sure to hit that like button and
Yeah, hit
we'll
the
see
like
how that
button.
goes.
Hell
Awesome,
yeah.
man.
What do you think, dude? Should we wrap or what?
Yeah, I think we should wrap. I think we've covered a ton of stuff, man. We have got so much stuff to repurpose for yeah, this coming week here. I'm super excited. What I'm appreciating about our live streams, and let us know if I'm, any of this resonates. This is to our viewers here, is that I genuinely feel like each live stream we are able to deliver more, not only more quality, but the quantity of that is like larger and larger. I feel
Yeah.
like the actual fruit of our live streams of taking stuff out to actually post it is becoming richer, and there's just so much of it every single live stream now, so that even if we're just looking at like an accumulation of value, like you have it for all of that Bitcoin data, all of the videos that we've created from our live streams now, there is so much just stuff there that I'm so excited to repurpose and share with all you guys.
Right.
To the
And
point
if
now,
let's say we did, go ahead.
to the point now where we have like there's just it doesn't make like we would have diminishing returns if we posted all of it throughout the next week until our next episode, because the algo doesn't like if you post too much as well.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to really sit down and think about, what are the best points to repurpose, the best
Right.
points to turn into shorts, which is a great problem to have. Like I love that we're not just
Absolutely.
chilling garbage. We're actually posting stuff that people are genuinely going to want to see. And this is a
And
product of the entire process that we spoke about this
yeah.
entire live stream. So, boom.
And
Sorry, take
most
it
of it
away
is
there,
like
Kobe.
accident. It's like on accident. We're stumbling along shit, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like Trav's doing something and then realizing, oh shit, I didn't know I could also do this. For us, I'm like, oh, I made this polymarket trading bot. Oh, I didn't know we could also do this. And then the second point, with all that content, like this is a reason for you, Mr. Listener or Mrs. Listener, to go out and make content even to 5 people. Like, bro, there's nobody watching us on YouTube right now. Okay? Like, do I give a shit? No. Because let's say we put out, not let's say, but when we ship the Problem Pulse app, which it'll be a different name, but that app, the Idea app, or the API. Well, all we have to do is go back and look at all of our streams. Like there's content that we can use to promote that product just to position us as an expert, not to shill the product itself. Like it's all there. So even if you don't have anybody to stream to or anybody that wants to watch your videos, make them anyway, because you never know when they're going to come into that you'll be able to repurpose them. So
Exactly. The value is real. It pays to be consistent and pays to create content as well.
mm-hmm.
It's yeah.
Amen.
Just get started. Just get started. Kobe, been a hell of a stream, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate yeah, just our conversations. It's always amazing where we get to from just riffing back and forth here. And to our viewers, guys, it's been a successful stream today. Well over 100 viewers across all of our platforms here, and we're super grateful for every single one of you guys. So definitely stay tuned. Check out all of our accounts all across the internet here. We're all over the place here. Your support means the world. If you found any value today in our live stream, if you took anything away, we would be super grateful if you guys could just engage with our stuff, whether it's give us a follow, give us a sub, drop us a like, drop us a comment. And we want to hear from you guys as well. So reach out, drop a comment. We are monitoring all of our comments across all the platforms. If there's something you want to know more about, if there's a topic you guys really want to be able to understand better, let us know. We'll do the heavy lifting. We'll get that out to you guys. So we've already got our work cut out for us. We've got a couple of good comments that we have to follow up on here. So definitely to all those individuals, those legends who dropped those comments, we appreciate you guys. This is why we're here. So yeah, in saying all that, thank you. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Easter. And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.